Live from high atop the ACTV studios in Gettysburg, you're watching Race Night. Welcome back, everyone. The date is June 25th, 2002, and this is a live show. Stace Eastwood, my co-host, back in the studio with us tonight. It's been 2 weeks since we were back here. You were back here. Yeah, we did the Latimer Valley deal last weekend. Tape from last weekend. Had a great time up there. Like to once again thank those folks up at the Latimer Valley Fair for inviting ACTV up there and doing what we love to do, and that's talk with everyone. Great show lineup here tonight for you folks. Going to take a little different approach than what you're normally used to seeing here on Race Night. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. First, got to thank my sponsors, Rick's Towing out of Biglerville and Davidson Motor Company out of Gettysburg. I'd like to thank those folks for bringing us back here one more time. Stacy, a lot of happenings, a lot of things happening here over the weekend, a lot of racing going on. Let's start off with Port Royal on Thursday night. The man from Mifflintown, Keith Kaufman, picked up that win on that special show that was run on Thursday night. Keith had kind of an up and down weekend, if you would. Goes to Williams Grove on Friday night and gets upside down, goes back to Port Royal on Saturday, wins again. So,
he likes support.
Yeah, I guess, it's all or nothing for the man from Mifflintown, but great run for him this weekend. Lance DeWeese picked up his another win down at Lincoln Speedway. Mark Billett in the Silver Springs late model division. They were a visiting group down there at Lincoln this past weekend. He picked up that win. Dwayne Watson, the Macho Man, I like to call him, driver that number 3, Dwayne Watson picked up his, I think that's his second win also, this season so far, down at Lincoln Speedway. Talking about Williams Grove on Friday night, Todd Schaefer, Mr. Excitement, picked up 25-lap feature win, and Rick Hench in the 358s.
That's the wild thing.
That was a wild night up there. It was a shame. There's a lot of guys lost a lot of good equipment up to Grove. It was just one of those nights. It wasn't full moon, but boy, I don't know what happened. Dave Newman pulled off a win over at Silver Springs in the Super Sportsman division. Art Schwartz in the Street Stocks. They're all gearing up for this Saturday. This coming Saturday is the annual Firecracker 40. It's a 40-lap, $2,000 to win for the Super Sportsman. Street Stocks will also be there at Silver Springs. A lot more things coming up here next week, but we'll let Stacy cover that after a couple other results here from the week.
Okay, at Sealings Grove this past weekend, Joe Wickham won the 358 feature. At Trailways on Friday night, there was, of course, a regular show, and Thundercars had a makeup feature. Mikey Walls took both of those features. Brad McClellan was in the feature for the 250cc's, and Charles Britton was in the Street Stocks, feature winner for the Street Stocks. And then Saturday at Trailway Speedway, in the 600cc's was Nathan Hawk. He his car actually looks like Greg Hodgnet's, the number 12 Cars by Dealer. Looks like his. And
yeah, that was his first win, and I was down there Saturday, and it looked like Hodgnet was in it. It was way out front. He was doing a good job.
It was his first win. Lloyd, was that Lloyd?
Lloyd Hockenberry.
Can't read my writing.
I
can't read his writing.
I apologize.
Lloyd Hockenberry was the feature winner for the modified vintage cars. Is that Stu?
Stu. Winrich?
Stu Winrich won Sportsman Vintage. Wesley Kellison was the feature winner for the 112 and over figure 8. Tom
Caravello
111 and under in the figure 8. Wayne
Kopp
4-cylinder scrambler cars. And Jerry Hobbs was in the 600 scrambler car feature winners.
And that scrambler division, I'm telling you what,
gaining some cars.
That's growing and growing. I don't know what the exact car count was, but it's over. I think it's over 15 now in each class
really
in the 4 and the 6 cylinders. And of course, some of the guys in the 4 cylinders are quick enough to run with the 6 cylinders, so they're double dipping there on a night. Might be able to round up a 4-cylinder for us. We might have to get down there.
There we go.
It's a real.
Check it out.
Not telling you, folks. Anybody sitting down there that thinks that they want to at least give it a shot at racing the Scrambler division over Trailways. It's one of those knock the glass out and go.
Have you seen it?
Yep, knock the glass out and go divisions. It's great. It's, I mean, just, yep, it is cool. We'll work on that.
Okay.
Talk to Gary Miller. Gary Miller, of course, track photographer, has been around for years. Ran into him Friday night at Williams Grove Speedway. It is great to see Gary Miller back. He suffered a kind of a serious illness a few weeks ago, and Friday night was his first night back at Williams Grove. He was just tickled to be there. He said that's better medication than anything the doctors could have given him. Getting back to the racetrack, he was really flabbergasted, for lack of a better term, at all the cards and letters and everything from the fans. He couldn't say enough about the racing community here in central Pennsylvania as far as, showing their concerns and their get well cards and wishes. And so on behalf of Gary, I'll send that out to you race fans. That was greatly appreciated, believe me. I talked to Gary and he was really wound tight. So it's good to see him back at the track, and of course he had camera in hand, so I'm sure we'll see more of those great photos in the future. Got a call from the Shetler Racing organization out of Johnstown, Pennsylvania. Of course, Dan Shetler drives a 7K down at Lincoln Speedway. They're going to hold their Shetler Racing Campfire Open, if you will.
I'm afraid to ask.
If you will. That's going to happen this Saturday night at Lincoln Speedway out in the parking lot. It'll be on the east end. I think it's the east end, or where they go in and out of the pits. I believe that's east. They're going to be down in the parking lot directly after the 358 show. Of course, they camp out along with a lot of the other folks there at Lincoln Speedway. But they said, hey, why don't we have an open, they're going to have hot dogs and kielbasa and all kinds of snacks.
If you're ever hungry and you're at the races, you can always go to the Shetlers.
Stop by out there. They'll have their blue light up on the trailer so that folks can find them in the parking lot. Anybody's welcome. Just stop down on your way out through, grab a hot dog, autograph picture, whatever. They just love to talk with the racing fans. So they're going to open up their campsite this weekend. That's this Saturday night. Out in the parking lot. They'll try to get out there right after the 358s are over with, because I know some of the people like to get out, and get a little head start. So we'll see how that works out. Speed Week's coming up.
Everybody take off next week.
Starting Saturday.
This Saturday, the 29th at 7:30, Lincoln Speedway starts off Pennsylvania Speed Week this coming week. It's the third annual Kevin Goldbrick Memorial 30-lap feature, $5,000 to win, and the Thunder Cars will be there. Time trials start at 7:30. Gates open at 5:30. And then Sunday they move to Grandview Speedway starting at 7 p.m. It's a 35-lap feature, $4,000 to win. Do you want me to run through all week?
Sure,
Okay.
Just where they're at, I guess.
Okay, next Tuesday, you guys that aren't going to watch race night, I hope you're at Big Diamond Raceway. Call in with results. Wednesday, July 3rd at 7:30, Silver Springs Speedway. Thursday, July 4th at 7:30, Susquehanna Speedway. Friday, July 5th, 7 p.m., Williams Grove.
That'll be for the Mitch Smith Memorial 30-lap, $10,000 to win.
Plus fireworks.
Plus the fireworks.
Time trials do start at 7:45 for the Williams Grove Friday night. Saturday, July 6th, 7 p.m., they'll be at Port Royal Speedway. And Sunday, July 7th at 7 p.m., they will be at Selinsgrove Speedway.
8 nights of racing, $177,000 in total prize money over 8 nights. So it'll be interesting to see.
And they're doing a fast time award, $100 for fast time.
Fast time
every night.
Every night.
That's how I read it.
Right. I guess that was put up by CarQuest Auto Parts. Lot of racing going on here, folks. Next week.
Take next week off. So.
Well, actually, now next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, ACTV will be live from the Gettysburg Carnival.
Okay.
So we're not quite sure what we're doing with the show next week.
Everyone can come out and see us then.
Right. You can come out. If you guys want to come out and be on race night at the Gettysburg Carnival. You'll have to tune in next week, see what we do with that. I'm not sure yet. Tell you that right up front.
First I heard of this, so
I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
know either.
Yep, we will be live next week. So I'm not sure. We're gonna have to work in this Speed Week somehow,
I
somewhere.
know.
Hey,
Crazy.
we got a blue
Got
light.
something. Hi, welcome to Race Night. You're on the air.
Yes, I'm calling to give you an update on Ray Bulls.
Okay.
Well, 2 weeks ago, we were to go to Mercer in western Pennsylvania, and Friday before we were to leave, Ray called and said his wife was in the hospital.
Oh no. Is she okay?
So he called Tim Dietz, and Tim met us out there. He was going to drive the car. But about 6 o'clock, they called back for rain. Now, last year, Tim won that race in a fog-shortened race. The fog moved in, and the cars totally disappeared in the backstretch.
That's not good.
No.
On the way home, we got word that Ray and Jan had a little girl.
Oh, that's great.
So this week, we went to, the little girl's name is Lauren Ashley. And this week, we went to Whip City, Massachusetts, and Ray won.
That is great.
Congratulations.
So we've had a busy 2 weeks.
Yeah,
It
it sounds like it.
It sounds like everybody's doing okay then.
Everybody's fine.
Spectacular. Thank you very much for the update. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
He had
Ray Bull, once
busy,
again.
busy week.
Yep,
A
once
baby
again.
and then winning.
And then winning. Still, of course, Ray Bull's still your two-time defending ARDC midget champion. Sounds like he's trying for 3.
Okay, let's go.
Let's jump on to the program. Like I said, folks, we're going to do something a little bit different here tonight. Shift gears, if you will. Generally, we go with go in circles on dirt. Tonight, we are going on asphalt. And we're going to go in a straight line. We have in the studio with us on your right. Okay. On your right, Mr.
right, too.
Darwin Dahl. To his right, Mr. Bill Stiles. And on the end, Bill Kirshner. Now, all these guys are in the studio, and they are here to talk about York US 30 Muscle Car Madness. Welcome to Race Night, guys.
Thanks. Great to be here.
Appreciate you guys coming on. Tell you what, we got the blue light on. Let's take this phone call, and then we'll get into finding out what's going on down at York US 30.
Hi, welcome to Race Night. You're on the air.
Hi. Hey, Scott.
Yes.
I got a 6-cylinder if you want.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a plan. Does that thing still run?
Well, it could if I go out and start it up, probably.
Well, why don't you
Great.
go out and start it up?
Great. We'll put your name on the side of it.
Yeah,
won't-
thanks. Don't do that.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Sounds like we're in the scrambler class.
There you go.
Okay. That's wonderful. Darwin, tell us a little bit about what's York US 30 Muscle Car Madness.
Well, York US 30 Muscle Car Madness is going to be a combination type event of muscle cars from the 60s and 70s era, as well as drag racing cars from the 60s and 70s era. The event is going to be a commemoration of the history of York US 30 Dragway. And there's tremendous amount of interest in York US 30 from many, many people in the York and Adams County area who ran there and can relate to the facility. And about 2 years ago, someone tried to put on a reunion type event in York concerning the raceway. And both Bill Stiles and I attended the event. And the event really wasn't of the caliber that we felt that York US 30 deserved. Mm-hmm. And so Bill and I were planning to do a muscle car event of our own. And we came up with the idea to make it a combination event, do the muscle cars and York US 30 combined into this one event. And we really felt that we needed to do it, take 2 years to do it. To plan it and do it properly, you need time to do it properly. And we wanted to do it professionally. So we set out to do this event, and we felt, well, we'll crawl before we walk. And we scheduled one hall, and it so happened that as we worked on this thing, we obtained sponsorship from Budweiser, who is going to be our major sponsor for the event, and also major participation from Mopar Performance Parts. As a result of that, the interest in the event became so great that we expanded into 2 halls. Well, we initially set out that we would have 1 day of setup, then it wound up with going to 2 days of setup. During the course of this, we will have a cruise-in also on the outside. And what it is amounted to right now is we'll have 125 cars on display inside of cars from the 60s and 70s era. And many of the cars that ran at York US 30 Dragway, and many of the legends of drag racing who will be here. And this event will never be duplicated. I can guarantee you that this event will never be duplicated because of the legends that we have coming. And to get the legends that we have plus the cars that we have in one place at one time is going to be a tremendous task for somebody to ever reproduce. We have the largest gathering of altered wheelbase cars since the '65 Superstock Nationals at York. We have the largest gathering of legends of drag racing since the '65 Superstock Nationals at York. We have names such as Bill Jenkins, Dino Don Nicholson, Linda Vaughn, Arnie Beswick, Dick Brannon. The names go on and on. Malcolm Durham. Guys that ran at York US 30 competed there on a regular basis. Bruce Larson with his USA 1 Camaro, and Bud Fauble from Chambersburg. Bud was a very big name in drag racing. Bill Stiles will have his car there. The owners of the car, the Blake family in Phoenix, Arizona, and they were kind enough to ship that car into us. We have the car here now, and we're making personal appearances, and we have made 8 to this date, and I think we have about 7 other ones to go, don't we, Bill?
Right.
And about 15 showings at Budweiser distributors throughout the area. But from all the indications that we have, we're going to have a tremendous turnout of people. We expect in the neighborhood of 300 or better cars for our cruise-in on the outside.
Wow.
So it is going to be a great weekend.
And this is all taking place down at the York
It'll be at the York Expo Center, and the dates of the show are Friday, July the 12th, and Saturday, July the 13th. Friday hours are 6 to 10, Saturday is 10 to 10. But we have all kinds of added things to the event as well. We have the Budweiser Race for 8 Challenge, where you can race your buddy on the NASCAR track. We have a mini drag strip where you can choose somebody off and run an actual drag race at the event itself. We will have autograph signings by all the personalities, and that will go on all during the event. And it'll just be many things to do at the event. You can spend hours in the hall, and if anybody wants to see any of the drag racing personalities, they'll certainly be there.
Mr. Bill Stiles from Stiles Performance down in York. How in the world did you guys get a hold of all these guys to come down? Just look them up in the phone book? I mean, it couldn't have been that easy.
No, I had to research it a little bit to get phone numbers. There was some that still had the same phone numbers, but
Yeah.
there was many that didn't. And the biggest thing that threw us a curve was all the area codes changing throughout the country.
Oh, yeah.
That was, a big problem.
Darwin said that this won't be reproduced, so you don't plan on having another one of these things? This
No,
is a
we're going
one-time
to have
deal?
one next year, but I don't know. The racers of this era are the age of number one, and number two, to get all of them back at the same place is almost impossible.
Okay.
And also the cars. The one car, Dave Strickler's 65 Walter wheelbase Dodge, which I built, and it's in the museum at Chrysler, and it hasn't been shown. This will be the first show that car was brought to.
Wow.
And the other car, the car that won the first sanctioned drag race in the United States in 1949, is coming in, and that was never shown either at a show. That was in the Duesenberg Museum.
Wow.
So we're going to have cars that have never been seen before, really, by the public,
Right.
except in one place. you
Right.
know. So it's, between the cars that raced at York and also the cars that are coming, we also have Bob Regal coming with the Hearst Hemi under glass. And that was a great show car through the years.
Yeah.
And in fact, he still is showing the car.
Talk a little bit about the history of US 30 Dragway, and it closed down in 1979. I was still pretty young at that time, so you guys, I mean, what you're telling me, you're gonna be
I was
teaching me
amazed
here.
of actually what is there now.
Now, Bill Kirshner down there on the end, I remember him from Earl and Bill Motors down in Hanover.
Yes.
I never would have guessed that you were, I guess, you and Harold
Sure.
Shore
Yes.
actually spearheaded the drag racing at York US 30.
Yes.
Tell us how that whole deal went down.
Well, we really got our start up at Lincoln Speedway. We started on the ground from the fourth turn to the first turn. That was our first strip. That's where we started out until we met these boys here, and they really got us started with the real strip, the macadam. But that's where we really got started. Lincoln Speedway was the fourth turn down to the first turn. That was our first drag strip.
That didn't give you much time to shut down. You had to make
No,
a quick,
but
make a quick
we had
lap.
a lot of them into the fence. Yes, we did.
Was it concrete then?
No, it was.
No.
It's just like it is today.
Yeah, it was.
It was still clay, and it's still clay. That's how we got started. And then these boys here took it from there.
You were part of, I guess you started the Hanover Rod and Custom
Yes,
Club. Is that
we
how the
did.
whole deal
That's how
kind
we
of got started?
And Harold, he was in charge. Yes, until these boys here come along and picked it up and carried it further.
That's
And they
great.
did a heck of a job.
Take us after Kirshner. You guys stepped in. What changes did you make, and what did you do to promote it and get it to where it's at?
Well,
where it was?
really what happened is the gentleman that was responsible for York US 30 Dragway was Bill Holtz, and he was actually from Lancaster County. And they ran drags at Lancaster Dragway, which was right over in Mountville behind the Leisure Lanes. And what occurred there is there was a chinchilla rancher that lived next door, and he went to court to get an injunction to shut down that track. And so Bill went to York and talked to Oscar Hostetter about running drags at York Airport. That was in 1960. And in 1960, the track went from South Penn drag strip to York US 30 drag strip. And then Bill Holtz ran the drags at York from 60 into the mid-70s, and that's when the Stewart family took over, and they ran the drags up until 1979. It went through some very meager beginnings with fabricated towers and things of that nature to a major racing tower that they had, which was known as the Krager Tower. And it was one of those towers where if you saw it, you knew instantly it was York US 30 Dragway. I mean, and York US 30 Dragway was nationally renowned for its racing and for all the major events. the biggest event was the 65 Superstock Nationals, and that was the largest one-day drag race in the history of drag racing. And it was one where it became a very uncontrolled condition, but fortunately during the course of the event, no one was ever injured, and they went on with the event, and it was known as the Woodstock of drag racing. Well, primarily what we're trying to do is with our event, and we feel that we're on the verge of this, is having a return to the Woodstock of drag racing, because from what we get, from the input we get, we're going to have people from all over the country here for this reunion celebration for York US 30.
Spectacular. Tell you what, folks, we're gonna are we ready to take a commercial break? We've got a bunch of photographs here that we want to go through and show you who's going to be there. Some of the cars and or the drivers themselves will be down at the York Expo Center for Muscle Car Madness. That date is July 12th and 13th. When we come back from commercial break, we're going to go down through that partial list and also talk a little bit more about US 30 Dragway. So stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short commercial message.
State law requires that a dog must be under the control of its owner. Letting your dog run unattended is not only illegal, it can bother neighbors or lead to injury to humans or the dog. All dogs 3 months of age must be licensed. Also at 3 months of age, dogs and house cats must have a rabies vaccination.
Make sure your dog has a current license. You may purchase the license at your county's treasurer's office or contact the office for the agent closest to you.
Just Jennifer Gallery has very cool stuff. Just Jennifer Gallery, located on 33 York Street in downtown Gettysburg. Just Jennifer Galleries has a wide selection of pottery, hand-blown glass, candles, and handcrafted silver jewelry from around the world. You can also find accent pieces for the home, antiques, rugs, and great gift ideas. Just Jennifer's represents over 40 artists, such as world-renowned Harley-Davidson artists Scott Jacobs and David Ewell, as well as Native American artist Raymond Yarbaugh of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Stop by Just Jennifer's on the first Friday of every month for First Friday, Gettysburg style. A new artist is featured every month and refreshments are served. Just Jennifer's. Very cool stuff, great prices.
Adelphia PowerLink, it's life wide open.
In a
Fluoride, chlorine. How do these fit into H2O? They don't. Roaring Spring bottled water contains only what nature intended, providing a safe and pure resource. Conveniently located on Route 116 off of Route 15, Roaring Spring offers a wide selection of bottle sizes, cooler styles, softening salts, and filters. Our certified representatives can find the product that's perfect for your home or office. Stop by or call today. The best that nature has to offer, from Roaring Spring to you.
You know, when I was a young man, riding a Harley-Davidson motorcycle, oh, that's all I could think of. I mean, that open road, that rumbling engine, the wind in my face.
You had a Harley?
No, I never got it. I spent the money on aluminum siding instead.
Let's go see what Grandma's doing.
And we are back live on race night. If you're just tuning in the studio with us here this evening, Darwin Dahl, Bill Stiles, and Bill Kirshner, all representatives of the York US 30 Muscle Car Madness. Big event happening down at the York Expo Center in July. That would be 12th and 13th. Right before we went to commercial break, I said these guys got a lot of pictures to go through, and I'll just let Darwin go ahead because you know what you're looking at.
Well, I have a photo here of Jungle Jim Lieberman, who was one of the top funny cars in the country in its time. And in the background, you can see the tower of York US 30. It was a state-of-the-art tower in the 70s, and many facilities after York came up with their tower started building the fancy towers in operational areas. And it was a great tower to operate from to run a drag race. And then on top of the tower, there was a lounge where you could go like a suite and sit and watch the races from upstairs in the air conditioning and have food and beverage. And it was really a nice tower. One of the things about this event is that we're on the leading edge of a new phenomenon in motorsports, and that's the nostalgia craze. The nostalgia craze is really growing by leaps and bounds. And the next car I have here is a car that will be at the show that will be exactly duplicated as the car that's on this picture, and that's Dave Hale's Willys. He rebuilt this car. This picture was back in the 70s. And he has rebuilt that car exactly to the specs that it looks like on this photo, and will be at the show. And this, to my knowledge, is the first show that it will be to. It'll be its inaugural show. But there's a tremendous amount of cars, race cars, that are being restored to their original condition, and will be showing. The one I have here is Mike Burkhart, was a funny car, and it just gives you an idea what that tower looked like. It was a mammoth tower and extremely modern in that day, and would still be by today's standards, because it was state of the art. It really was. Had all the latest in timing equipment and facilities. Now here's a car that goes back quite a bit. This car here was Charlie Hill's gasser from York, and Pork Zartman out of Hanover ran this car. And you can see that little shack in the back, if you can see that. That was the forerunner of that tower that I was just showing you. And the track came from meager beginnings and grew into a major racing facility, one that was world renowned, because we have a website and we're getting in excess of 20,000 hits a month on that website.
Wow.
For this event. And we have international interest in this event as well, because York US 30 was really a world-renowned drag racing facility.
That since you mentioned that, www.yorkus30.com, is that
That's
the one
correct.
you're looking at? Okay, folks, it's that simple.
Go to that.
YorkUS30.com.
And this is another photo of Brooklyn Heavy. You may get a little glare out of this, but it shows the tower in the background, and that's mainly why I brought this photo along, just to see it.
There, you got it cleared up.
But it was quite spectacular to watch a race.
Now, the York US 30 drag strip is the airport
Correct.
Of today.
of today. Back then, when you were racing on it, you actually had to stop the races to allow the planes to land.
Periodically, we would have, it was normally supposed to be a closed airport by the FAA. Well, that didn't always work because you always had somebody coming from an out-of-state position somewhere that needed to get into the airport. So what would happen, you'd run out there and have to stop the drags and watch that they didn't come down and hit the lights. And
Because I was going to say, what about the tower? I mean,
the tower was off to the side, so they didn't have to worry about that too much.
but I mean, as far as like having people, like now you have towers at the major airports to help them land and stuff like that. You were making a comment saying that you could go up there and watch the drag strips. Did they use that tower, obviously, to help the planes land? I
No.
know you said it's
That was-
closed.
That was all
but-
controlled by the airport, which was on the other end of the facility.
So that tower, the Krager Tower, was strictly for the drag strip.
That's correct.
okay.
That's
Okay.
correct.
Okay, I see.
One of the cars that we talked about earlier was the Dave Strickler car, which is currently in the Chrysler Museum. That car is in the Chrysler Museum in Detroit. This will be the first outside showing from the Chrysler Museum here at York for that car. And Bill, my partner here, was instrumental in building that car, and they actually won the first national event for that style race car at Bristol, Tennessee, at the drags in Bristol. Here's a shot from Bristol of the car, and the car was a very competitive vehicle in its time. It was one of the Chrysler factory cars, and it's going to be an interesting car to see at the show.
That was an older wheelbase car. They moved the rear wheels forward about 15 inches and the front wheels forward about 8 inches to give it all weight transfer, so it will leave the line harder.
Oh, okay.
You're allowed to do that?
Where did you take it out of the body?
Well, you can see usually the rear wheels, get it over here. The rear wheels would be back about 15 inches.
Oh, okay.
In other words, you can see the rear wheels of the car right at the door post,
Okay.
at the door opening.
Okay.
And the front wheels, they move forward, like I said, about 8 inches. So that put all the weight of the engine on the rear wheels.
This was actually the forerunner of today's current funny car. That was the start of the funny car revolution that we talk about many times.
Now, what kind of rules did you guys have for the track as far as the cars go? Did you have any rules?
We had a lot of class rules.
Did you?
Bill can tell you because he built race cars and raced race cars, and we had specific classifications, cubic inch to weight, and we also had horsepower to weight in the stock area of drag racing.
Today's safety regulations are a lot more stringent than they were then.
I mean, did you still have like the 5-point harnesses and
Oh,
the
yeah.
cage?
Oh, yeah.
Did you have cages in them?
Yeah. I mean, when we first started drag racing in the 60s, the stockers, we didn't even wear helmets. Just drove the car off the
Crazy.
track, took the hubcaps off of it, and raced it.
And just race
Like,
it.
that's what I was trying to,
Yeah.
basically what I was trying to get at, if that's how you did it.
Well, we have another one here that Bud Fauble from Chambersburg, and Bud was one of the top runners in our area in the super stock and AFX categories. And Bud will be at the show, and you certainly get a finer gentleman than Bud Fauble to one of your events, because he's a great guy.
Bud also raced on Daytona Beach for Chrysler Corporation
When my first
before
started racing.
Daytona Speedway was built.
I know all about that.
Yeah.
I had to do a report on that, so I know how Daytona got started.
We also have another one. We'll have the car and the driver of this car at the event. That's Pee Wee Wallace from Richmond, Virginia. And this car was a very competitive car, ran the Super Stock Nationals and ran many of the NHRA points events, and actually won the Division I championship for funny cars.
Is he in the air, or is it just on blacktop?
No, the front wheels are off the ground there.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. He's lifting the front wheels.
Okay.
And that was always a neat little maneuver, that you had a feather to get it down without crashing and breaking the the front end.
Dropping the whole
Right.
front end, having a thing collapse.
Have a shot here of Bill Stiles in his car, and this is from Suffolk, Virginia, and Bill has the '68 Barracuda on the far side, or the near side, I should say, and that car is the car that we're currently showing all over the area at the Budweiser distributors, and the car is very well received. It's a Hemi engine in it, and when you start that up, people know it's a Hemi. I guarantee you. It's pretty exciting, and when Bill got it out of the trailer the first time we went to one of these, I said, "My God, Bill, where did the 30 years go?"
How much did you travel around with that, Bill?
I was actually sponsored by Chrysler Corporation and traveled to Pomona, California for the Winter Nationals, traveled all over the country.
All over the country with that? Wow.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Here's another one.
But it does.
Here's another one. This is Bill Grumpy Jenkins.
Oh,
and
boy.
if you talk Chevrolet, in Chevrolet circles, everyone knows who Bill Grumpy Jenkins is, because this guy was a master. He actually started out with Dave Strickler in the old reliable cars, and then moved on and became a racer himself. And Bill is one of a kind, and he'll be at the show, and he always has a crowd around him wherever he goes. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal.
Speaking of old reliable, did you guys ever find that car?
No.
We put a call out here about a year ago or something, and
Yeah, because when we were mentioning about this last
trying to
year.
find it, and we didn't hear anything out of it.
Nobody else did.
We can't find it.
Can't find it.
No. We were looking for the 59, and we will have the 62, 3, and 68 old reliables at the show, in addition to Dave's altered wheelbase car. Here's a shot of Dino Don Nicholson in his Mustang, and Dino will be there. Dino is now 75 years of age, and still getting around pretty good for his age, but age catches up with you sooner or later. There's no question about it. But it'll be a show, like I said before, that just can't be duplicated. With all the personalities and the race cars that'll be there. Here's a spectacular shot of two of the cars, wheel standers that with their front wheels up at York, coming off the starting line side by side. I mean, and this is the caliber of type racing and shows that you saw at that racetrack on a weekly basis.
The one on the far side right here looks like he got a head start.
I could almost walk underneath those things.
Yeah.
And that's me. I mean, they're up in the air.
You really could.
Holy smokes.
That's a fact. And then Bill also had a Pro Stock Duster, and he had a guy by the name of Ed Hedrick drive his Pro Stock Duster, and that car was a competitive car. And here's a shot of it off the starting line with the wheels up in the air. And I'm sure Ed was feathering a little bit to get it back down, but it was a great car and a competitive car in its time.
And did you guys have a points system at the racetrack? So you went by points, you had a championship race and all that?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
Well, the tracks had their own points, and then Darwin was division director for NHRA, Division One, Landon Ned, Northeast Division, and the division had points. And to go to the national events, you had to be in the top 5 of the points in your division.
Okay.
To go like Indianapolis to the nationals or to qualify for the world finals.
Okay.
Here's a photo that goes back a few years. I just brought it for laughs. It's Bill and I was on one side of the fence and Bill was on the other. I was in the administrative and officiating end, and Bill was on the race side. He was the racer, and Bill actually, we had a NHRA All-Star Superstock circuit, and Bill was actually our 69 circuit champion that year, and with these Barracuda. So we've had a lot of fun.
And of course, you guys always saw eye to eye on everything.
Oh, I'm sure we did.
We got a phone call.
Definitely.
We have a phone call. Let's see what's
We do now.
Hi, welcome to Race Night. You're on the air.
Hey, how you doing, Scott?
Hey, pretty good.
Hey, I got somebody else here who wants to talk to you.
Okay.
Hey,
Hey, what's happening?
what the heck are you doing?
Did you see the commercials?
No, he said we're on a conference call.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I want you to congratulate him on his 358 win.
Yeah, it looked kind of neat. Look for more of those in the future, folks. Our guest here didn't have a chance to see them, though the monitor wasn't tied in, so they'll know what we're talking about after the show's over.
Well, my monitor was fuzzy too, so not to feel bad.
Too many radius rods. Okay, guys.
Hey, we'll talk to you later, Scott. We had to butt in.
Thanks for your conference call.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Bye.
Right.
Bye.
That's Big John out of York. I'm sure he probably had the phones rigged up somehow.
Oh, I'm
'cause
sure he did.
Fortunately, you guys down in York can't get race night.
Right.
But, just a little carrying on.
We'll show you the tape afterwards.
Yeah. Couple other, you had some other black and white photos there from, I don't know if it was in your pile or Bill's pile. Some real old,
I don't know if it'll show up.
maybe
or
they
not.
were,
Well,
This is Al.
how about Goffner's drag?
That's Al
dragster?
Goffner and I in 1960 at York with his dragster.
now what was that considered? What
That was
division
that
class?
was called
or-
a B dragster at that time.
Okay.
Is that supposed to be like the long dragsters now?
That has a small block Chevy in it. And actually, the same meet that picture was taken, Don Garwitz, who is today known as the granddaddy of drag racing, he set the top fuel record at that meet in 1960 at York.
Wow.
So that'll give you an idea of the prestige of running at York.
Okay.
What does it, do you guys still go to any of the meets? Any of the events now?
We go to races now to promote the show. We've gone to some nostalgia races through this past year.
What are your thoughts on how the sport has evolved since the 50s and the 60s?
Megabucks.
Megabucks, is it just like any other type of racing then?
Megabucks, that's what it takes. And if you have a major sponsor, you're in good shape. The sport, they're really, in looking at drag racing today versus the drag racing in the 60s and 70s, the 60s and 70s was fun. Today it's got to be brutal. Because you have sponsors you better satisfy or they aren't going to be with you next year. And there's a lot of pressure, and I'm sure it's the same way in all of motorsports. Doesn't matter. I mean, I happened to leave drag racing and go to Michigan International Speedway, and I ran Michigan for Penske for 5.5 years. And so I can relate to the NASCAR scene and the kart Indy cars. And then from there, I went out to Sears Point. I ran Sears Point for a year and a half. And so I had a chance to get experience with SCCA and all the rest of the road course type racing. And so it's very competitive. And, but today in drag racing, I went to a race last year at Englishtown, New Jersey, and I saw some of the people that I knew from our era, but not many. But when you look at the competitiveness and what they're doing today with equipment and things, it's just a mammoth chore, let me tell you.
Bill, were you tearing your motors down after every run and putting pistons and everything else they do to them these days?
No, that, well, it wasn't necessary. You know, in my CUDA, the Super A automatic car, gosh, I had run it for 60, 70 races before I had to go through the motor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now the Duster, the Pro Stock car, the one with the wheels up, that was down to about 10 runs that I had to go through the motor. But I will say one thing. In 1966, Jerry Stahl and I teamed up, and we won every national event in NHRA and won top stock. And there was as much prestige as winning top stock as it was winning top fuel eliminator.
Yeah,
No kidding.
at that time.
At that time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, how many races did you guys race? Was it every Saturday night or every Wednesday and Saturday?
On a local area, you could do that every Saturday night. You could race, or
Is that how it was at US 30?
yeah,
Okay.
every Saturday night they had a race at York US 30, and you could be competitive locally, or you could go to a major NHRA national event. It started out, they had 4 a year. Now I think they're up to 20-some races a year, and it's just, you better have a big pocketbook in order to afford to do this thing. One of the things, the difference between drag racing on the East Coast and drag racing on the West Coast, I'll sum it up by saying what one of our people from the magazine said. Jim McGraw, who used to be Superstock and Drag Illustrated editor, said that the difference between the East and the West was, in the West, if you wanted to go fast, you just tipped a can of nitro a little harder. Mm-hmm. In the East, if you wanted to go fast, you worked hard, tore your car apart, and worked to get that stock automobile to run quicker. And that's the difference between the East and the West. And that you don't see the door slammers, so to speak, in the West Coast as big as you do in the East.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Yeah. Got a couple, just about a minute or so left in the program. Mr. Kirshner, back in 1958 or whenever 59. It was, 59, when you come up with this idea, did you ever think that it would grow and be what it was up until 1979?
Never.
Never thought you'd be sitting here talking about a reunion,
Never thought, 30 years later, never. But here we are.
Mm-hmm.
No, 30 years, 59, it's 40 years.
40 years.
42 years, my God.
So if anybody, I guess.
That old.
If anybody.
I should have said that.
That's okay.
Everybody will know all about me now.
So if anybody's out there and is thinking about trying something completely off the wall, you'd recommend giving it a shot anyway. You don't know where it might lead.
Go for it. Definitely, Scott.
Go for it.
Definitely.
Well, folks, with that said, we got a tape to run afterwards before we get off. That was from 1970 to help me out. I remember
it was
the cover.
in the 60s and 70s. It's a drag racing tape from York US 30, and it has many of the top name racers that raced there. Okay,
that tape will run for about 50 minutes. That will be in place of our weekly dirt track tape. Try to tie this whole thing together. Folks, don't forget, July 12th and 13th at the York Expo Center down in York. The big York US 30 Muscle Car Madness. If you need some more information about it, www.yorkus30.com. Pick it up on the internet. Darwin Dahl, Bill Stiles, Bill Kirshner. It's been great having you guys up here. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about York US 30 that I
These two
didn't know.
guys here are responsible for a lot of it, Scott. Got to give these two boys a lot of credit, especially
Well-
Darwin and Bill.
We'll have a giant display of York US 30. You'll be able to see a lot of things from the era, from the track, and things that actually the way it was at York US 30. And you can really get an education just coming to the show and seeing the things that will be on display.
I lived 20 miles away probably and didn't know what was going on down there. So we'll definitely get down and see you over that weekend and try and learn a little bit more and hopefully meet some of these guys.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks very much for having us.
Okay.
Thanks
Steve,
for having us.
You're
Yes.
quite welcome.
Don't forget about next week.
Next week we will be live from the carnival.
Somehow, somewhere.
Somehow, somewhere.
Come out and see us.
Up on top of the merry-go-round, up on top of the Ferris wheel or something. I don't know where we'll wind up, but we'll
Do
be
they
out
have
at
that
the
Okay.
at the Great Gettysburg Fireman's Carnival. We'll be there next Tuesday through Friday. I believe the carnival runs Tuesday through Saturday, if I remember correctly. Until then, hey, if we don't see you at the carnival, we'll see you at the track. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.
Okay.
Beautiful.